Moko, a loving mother, and Ebo, her barren sister, share a strained bond in Com village. Moko's daughter, Kanya, is sent to Ebo for help. Ebo hides her jealousy, but her bitterness grows when Kanya's joy fills her barren home. Ebo envies Kanya's innocence and happiness, which reminds her of her failure to conceive. She begins plotting ways to deal with the ache that torments her soul, fueled by whispers of envy and spite. Desperate and consumed by bitterness, Ebo hatches a dark plan. She convinces herself that feeding Kanya her urine will shift her infertility to the child. In her mind, it's a symbolic transfer of her burden. Ebo replaces Kanya's porridge with a mixture containing her urine. The act feels both exhilarating and terrifying. She tells herself it's the only way to find peace, even as her conscience tugs at her. Ebo's guilt manifests as shadows and whispers in the night. She becomes haunted, hearing accusations in the wind. Her nights are sleepless, yet she continues her vile act, believing her misery justifies it. Moko visits and notices Kanya's pallor. Concerned, she asks Ebo about her daughter's health. Ebo deflects, blaming the change in environment. Moko prays for Kanya and hopes she'll recover soon. Neighbors notice Kanya's decline and whisper about Ebo's possible neglect. Ebo grows paranoid, fearing her secrets will be uncovered. She begins avoiding people, isolating herself further. Neka, the village sage, confronts Ebo, sensing the darkness within her. She warns, secrets fester like wounds. Confess, or they'll consume you. Ebo denies wrongdoing but is shaken by Neka's piercing gaze. Kanya becomes feverish, murmuring in her sleep about the strange taste of her food. Moko grows more worried, her instincts telling her something isn't right. Ebo dreams of a crying baby surrounded by flames. Each night, the dream grows worse, showing her reflection in the flames. She wakes, trembling, yet continues feeding Kanya the bitter mixture. Village elders notice Kanya's absence from communal events. They question Moko, who explains her daughter's illness. The elders instruct her to investigate further, suspecting something unnatural. Moko feels a gnawing unease. She observes Kanya's declining health and Ebo's evasive demeanor. Moko begins praying fervently, seeking answers from the ancestors. Ebo uses a special clay pot for the mixture, believing it holds magical powers. She hides it carefully, fearing discovery. But the pot begins to emit a strange odor, attracting unwanted attention. In a moment of clarity, Kanya tells Moko, Auntie's food tastes strange. Moko's heart sinks, suspecting foul play. She resolves to keep a closer watch. A goat enters Ebo's home and knocks over the hidden pot. The foul-smelling contents spill, alerting a neighbor who grows suspicious of Ebo's actions. When questioned about the pot's contents, Ebo claims it's Ebo medicine. The neighbor isn't convinced and warns Neka about what she saw. Ebo senses the village turning against her. She becomes more desperate and consults a secret herbalist for protection. The herbalist warns her of dire consequences. Kanya faints during a visit with her mother. Moko is frantic, demanding answers from Ebo. Ebo denies wrongdoing, but her trembling hands betray her guilt. Neka performs a divination and uncovers Ebo's dark deeds. She warns Moko, your sister has crossed sacred boundaries. Confront her before it's too late. Moko confronts Ebo, who denies everything. But cracks begin to show in Ebo's resolve as Moko grows more determined to uncover the truth. Moko recalls childhood memories of Ebo, wondering how they became so estranged. Her heartbreak strengthens her resolve to protect Kanya. Ebo accidentally spills the bitter mixture while preparing it. Kanya sees it and tells Moko about the strange smell, deepening Moko's suspicions. News of the strange event spreads. Some villagers support Ebo, claiming she's misunderstood, while others side with Moko, demanding justice. A mysterious bird circles Ebo's house, screeching loudly. Villagers believe it's a bad omen. Ebo grows paranoid, fearing her end is near. The village elders call for a meeting to address Konya's illness and the strange accusations surrounding Ebo. Ebo is summoned to explain herself. Ebo pleads innocence, claiming she only wanted to care for Kanya. The elders remain skeptical but demand evidence before passing judgment. Moko finds the curse pot hidden in Ebo's home. She brings it to the elders as evidence, shocking the entire village. Villagers are outraged upon learning about Ebo's deeds. They demand immediate punishment, but the elders decide to investigate further. Neko leads a ritual to cleanse Kanya. She reveals that Ebo's actions have invoked ancestral wrath, and only full confession can bring peace. Ebo dreams of ancestors dragging her into the forest. She wakes, trembling, knowing she must confess but fearing the consequences. After the ritual, Kanya begins to recover slowly. Moko is relieved but remains vigilant, determined to seek justice for her daughter. Ebo is tormented by guilt and begins to lose her grip on reality. Shadows in her home seem to mock her, and whispers grow louder. Unable to bear the weight of her secret, Ebo confesses to Neka. The revelation sends shockwaves through the village. The elders deliberate on Ebo's punishment. They decide her actions warrant banishment but allow her one final chance to atone. Ebo undergoes a painful cleansing ritual in the sacred grove, meant to purify her soul and sever any lingering curses. Ebo is exiled from Nkam. She lives with nothing but the clothes on her back, her tears soaking the dusty ground. With Ebo gone, the village begins to heal. Moko and Kanya rebuild their lives, but the scars of betrayal remain. Moko tells Kanya the story of Ebo's actions as a warning about envy and the sanctity of family bonds. Neka performs a final ritual to appease the ancestors. She assures the village that the curse has been lifted. Ebo wanders aimlessly, shunned by nearby villages. Her once proud demeanor is replaced by humility. She begins to reflect on her actions, haunted by the faces of Moko and Kanya. Ebo settles in a dense forest, surviving on wild fruits and water from streams. At night, the shadows return, whispering reminders of her betrayal. In calm, the villagers rally around Moko. They provide her with support, ensuring Konya's recovery is smooth and comforting her through the betrayal. Konya's health improves, and she regains her laughter. However, she often asks Moko about Ebo, revealing her young heart's forgiveness. In the forest, Ebo meets an old wanderer who speaks cryptically about redemption. He tells her, true atonement begins when you heal what you've broken. The old man gives Ebo a seed, instructing her to plant it. He promises it will show her the path to forgiveness. Skeptical but desperate, she follows his advice. Ebo watches as the seed sprouts into a vibrant tree. Its fruit is golden and glowing, filling her with a strange sense of hope. Back in the village, Neka dreams of the glowing tree and senses that Ebo has begun a journey toward redemption. She tells Moko, her soul seeks healing. Ebo decides to return to Nkam, carrying the golden fruit. Her journey is fraught with challenges, but she presses on, driven by the hope of making amends. Ebo's arrival causes a stir. Many demand she leave, but Neka intervenes, insisting they hear her out. Ebo kneels before the elders, presenting the golden fruit. The elders are skeptical, but Neka explains that the fruit symbolizes Ebo's repentance. She asks the villagers to allow Ebo a chance to atone fully. Moko struggles with anger and forgiveness. She is torn between protecting Kenya and allowing Ebo back into their lives. Her prayers guide her. Ebo begs for forgiveness, acknowledging her wrongs and accepting the consequences of her actions. Her tears move some, but others remain unmoved. The elders set a test for Ebo. She must dedicate herself to serving the village and proving her sincerity. Ebo accepts, determined to atone. Kenya, still young and innocent, forgives Ebo without hesitation. Her gesture begins to soften the hearts of the villagers. Ebo works tirelessly to serve the village, fetching water, tending crops, and aiding the elderly. Slowly, the villagers begin to see her transformation. Nneka organizes a feast, inviting Ebo to prepare the food as a symbol of her reacceptance. Some remain wary, but the mood is hopeful. During the feast, Moko publicly forgives Ebo. Her words bring tears to many eyes, and the village feels a collective sense of healing. Ebo plants another golden fruit tree in the sacred grove as a permanent symbol of her repentance and the village's unity. Years later, Ghanian tells the story of Ebo's actions and redemption to her own children, ensuring the lessons of envy and forgiveness live. Ebo dedicates her life to helping other barren women in neighboring villages. She shares her story to warn them about the dangers of bitterness. Moko finds peace knowing her forgiveness allowed her sister to find redemption. She thanks the ancestors for guiding her. Nkom becomes a place of harmony, with the tale of Ebo serving as a reminder of the power of forgiveness and community. Before her passing, Nneka tells the village, even the darkest hearts can find light if given the chance. Her words echo through generations. The golden tree in the sacred grove grows taller and bears fruit yearly. Villagers see it as a divine blessing and a symbol of healing. Ebo's efforts inspire others to seek peace and forgiveness. Her name becomes synonymous with redemption in nearby villages. Ghanian grows into a wise woman, often telling the story of her aunt's journey to inspire others. She visits the sacred tree yearly to offer thanks. Nkom thrives as its people embrace unity and compassion. The story of Moko, Ebo, and Ghanian becomes a cherished folktale. Ebo dies peacefully under the golden tree. The villagers hold a ceremony in her honor, recognizing her transformation and contributions. The glowing tree stands as a testament to the dangers of envy and the power of forgiveness. The tale is passed down, ensuring its lessons endure forever.